Howdy Serpent Heads, how's it going? It's February and I am absolutely frozen in this frigid weather we're having. Little Weasel came out earlier this month and said we're going to be experiencing more of this horrendous season after it was like a week of nice weather, and now seemingly we're back to cold weather. I'm ready to shoot, said Weasel. With that aside, one thing that has made this month particularly hard for me is the lack of creativity I'm feeling as winter is dragging its feet ever so slowly. The lack of creativity has really given me a lot of struggle this month in terms of trying to create things. And with that frustration, I decided to do an old school YouTube commentary and just talk about it. Talk about why this month has been such flaming elephant feces to be creative, let alone why it's hard to just be creative right now. I think a good place to start would be talking about the creative prospects that I have. A lot of the creative prospects I have are between, but not limited to, photography, poetry writing, D&D writing as characters or as story, getting into music making, which has been a hell of a task for me. I did not realize it was going to be that difficult, but you live and you learn as we learn on. 3D printing and video making. And video making has been the one I have not tried. So I decided to give that a go, and that's why I'm making this, because everything else just seems kind of dry right now. It's hard because it's too cold to be outside for long periods of time with temperatures going into the single digits in Fahrenheit, or excuse me, American units, freedom units. But I haven't been able to go outside and just sort of experience or live life. If I'm doing anything right now with friends or anything, it's, oh, I'm at a store, I'm buying something, I'm at the bar, drinking something. Or I have to do some sort of in-house stuff, which I like to do. I love to sit inside and just game with my partner. We cuddle up on the couch and play Mario Kart. I usually lose. It's also nice when we're sitting there and we can do art. We started going to the dollar store, buying cheap canvases and acrylic paint and just painting. I am not particularly phenomenal at it, but we're getting there. That's been a fun creative prospect here and there, but it's not my particular forte. All that said, with that lack of being able to kind of go outside, enjoy nature, or even just to do activities such as skateboarding. I was getting really into skateboarding right before the winter season hit, which sucks. I just learned that I was getting comfortable going short distances and I lost it. And without having those sort of ways to kind of get out and experience for me, it's been really depriving me creatively. And it makes me think about why I even create art. I could just look at this and say, oh, we're in the winter months, it's hard to make art, it's fine, just don't make art for a couple months. But I think for the reasons I make art, it's particularly difficult. I make art as a thing for other people to sort of relate to and understand. When people can relate to a piece that I've created, it really creates a moment of connection for me and that other person. Oh, you really caught what I was feeling here. I was feeling this type of way, whether I was feeling lonely, I was feeling lost, aimless, if I was really happy or triumph. And being able to share that with someone else is such a huge, huge thing for me. I also make art for myself. Now, for myself, art is very fulfilling. It's very much a sense of fulfillment that I keep getting better each time I try to make a piece, especially poetry. For those of you who don't know, I went to college and minored in creative writing, and poetry was kind of my specialty, and over time I could definitely see the improvement of my pieces. I went from having I'd say slightly above average pieces to really creating works that people are very much in marvel of, and even I'm in marvel of. I go back and I read my old pieces, I'm like, wow, I wrote that, I really did this. So it's very much a sense of fulfillment for me. It's a creative outlet for me in terms of my willingness to keep improving and something I can consistently work on, as well as also just a way to sort of vent whatever I'm feeling. If work has me really stressed out, it's something I can turn to and really let myself go. Or if I'm in an emotional situation, let myself go and write or do photography, and I can capture things or write things and however I want and be able to express those feelings. Now that there's an understanding of why I make art, I think I can finally go into why this month has kind of sucked to make art. And this season, winter just sucks up the life of everything. I have such a lack of inspiration from going out, and it's been really hard. Really hard. On top of the month just being so cold and bitter and you don't want to go outside, I think there is a bit of burnout. I think this is definitely more specific to me for why I have burnout, but I think it's definitely affecting why I'm creative. I feel like anytime I get the time to sit home and really get to engage with one of my hobbies, especially the creative outlet hobbies such as, poetry and such, it's been insanely difficult because I just do not have the drive, the feeling for it. I sit there, I'm just like, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like engaging in these hobbies like I normally would. I end up just scrolling on YouTube and watching YouTube shorts of a cosplayer, a Kai sent out freakout video, and a Jacob Weeby video. And they're cool, they're entertaining, but they really don't fulfill me in any way. And so it's equally frustrating when I try to engage with one of these and I kind of try to brute force it and I'm not really inspired and I just get frustrated and I create things that are find to be subpar, and it's very frustrating for me because I want to try to improve, I want to keep trying different ideas, and when I continually do things that just don't feel up to snuff for what my standard is for myself, it's very frustrating. And when there's like burnout, the drive, like I said, is gone, and it's become just insanely frustrating. And I feel like I can't relax for myself. I haven't been able to sort of turn off. I feel like I've been turned on a lot lately between work, trying to manage finances, having my relationship, and I love all these things. My job is fine. No one really likes working, but I have a really healthy relationship with my partner and I have a good social group, but it hasn't felt like I've been able to kind of turn off. When I have my own time, I want to work on these things, but it feels like I haven't had the rest to go do these things, or I'm stuck doing chores and errands such as, I need to do laundry, I need to do dishes, I need to do that. And I know everyone struggles with that, but it's been particularly hard for me since I've sort of been struggling with my time management. And not having that sort of downtime before I go to work on those projects have made them insanely hard, I think, and I can't find myself just being relaxed. I feel like the only time I'm relaxed is when I'm sleeping, and that's not really true relaxation. So that burnout has just been kind of eating me alive in terms of what I've been able to try to put out there in my creative pursuits. And it just fucking sucks, to be point blank about it. I've been struggling the last couple months of winter because we finally had a winter this year where I'm from, and it's just kind of sucked the life out of everything. I've been trying consistently to just even go on a nature walk, and I was able to one night once I bundled up in 3 to 4 layers, and I was still not exactly toasty. It's so much better to walk in the summer when you can just walk around shorts and stuff and just bring water and you could bear through it. You can't really bear through the cold. No matter how many layers you put on, that wind is still gonna stab you like a knife. So it's been just depressing. I think there might be a bit of seasonal depression there. I don't know. This is just me being very open about it. But the burnout has been real, and it's made art sucky, and the lack of being able to go outside and engage with the world and do physical activities, I think, is also kind of aided in the burnout. This sort of hibernation mode we're all in right now, where it feels like, we're all kind of just huddled in because you go outside, you're gonna get hypothermia. It's pretty brutal out there. With the winter weather and then my own personal life of burnout, it's made being creative hard, and I just, like I said, it's frustrating. I love being creative. I like putting art out there for my own self-fulfillment and to share with others. It's half the fun of it. Again, I have people in my life who do art and want to make it their career, and when they get to share that with me, it feels like such a special moment. And I feel like that's something I can even touch upon, where I have people in my life who really inspire me, and I want to keep creating art, and even within the winter months, like they've done like some really cool stuff. And I think I can really highlight that. I think one of the first people I would highlight would be my partner, who's been making her own music, and she makes some insanely good music, and she's been the whole reason I've even started pursuing music myself, and just even learning it. I don't think I could ever be as good as her, but if I can go out there and make something I can at least tolerate and have other people enjoy as well, I'd be more than happy with that. And watching them has been such a, I don't know how to even describe it. It's been watching like poetry in motion when they start sort of noodling around on their guitar and they're playing on different tunings and frets, and the capo's all up and down every flippin' where. And I really see them come up with some really cool pieces after just like being inspired by something, or just like thinking of something in their head, whether it be a melody, a tune. And I really enjoy seeing them go to work. And it's been a huge inspiration for me. It's like I want to, be dedicated to, my work, and I want to have projects that are long term, like making a song. Then I have my best friend, who he is also he is in the music realm, and he's been working on his own tracks, and whenever he gets something like progressed, he always wants to show me. And so he's also my coworker. We'll sit down and work, and we'll talk about it, and he'll get me to give my opinions on the pieces that he's working on, whether it be like criticism or stuff I enjoy, or just to see me vibe with it, because a lot of it I do. He's really good, and he deserves it all. And so I'm just very happy, to be, someone like who's just, again, working on something long term. Another friend of mine, close friend of mine, he has a YouTube channel, and he consistently uploads like all the time. And I have to give hats off to him, because uploading all the time is like crazy work. He has like multiple uploads a week, and I'm like, damn, I would love to do that. So I'm hoping this is my first attempt at that, but I digress. I find his consistent effort and the stuff he works on really amazing. I want to definitely cultivate projects that I'm working on long term and work on them consistently. But without that creativity, it's been very hard, and with burnout sort of being the barrier to that, it's been insanely frustrating. And so I kind of look towards, what are ways I can get around this and whatnot. And so it's trying to find something I can get my foothold in. So I thought this would be my way to get my foothold in. Working on something kind of unorthodox, is what I normally do. Whether it be very private things such as poetry and music, to more public things like 3D printing, which I usually do for other people. And so we'll see where this takes me. But as for that, I don't know what other cures for burnout are there. I can only hope that maybe going on a trip soon, which I do have planned, would be a good way to do it, or just working on other projects, or going to different shows. I do have a show I'm super excited to see in a couple weeks here, but I'll have to talk about that at another time. I've definitely kind of gone over everything I wanted to today. I don't know if it's everything. I don't know, but I've been really kind of excited to works like this, these longer talking videos about just stuff going on. I think there's a lot of merit to it, and I think it's a lot of fun. But with that in mind, I think that's where we're gonna call it for today. If you guys liked the video, please like and subscribe. Add it to a playlist to watch it again if you enjoyed it. If you want inspiration, I don't know. Or if you have any good ways to deal with burnout, comment below. Alright, I think that's what we're gonna call it. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Medusa signing out. See you around, serpent heads. Bye.